Judge, are you okay? I think he's really mad.
Yeah, I think so.
Here we are again, Marvin.
Alright guys, this one's going to be doing a review today. This one's going to be doing a review for the Walking Dead universe, and in today's video we're going to be doing the discussion video for today. We're going to be talking about the Walking Dead universe and an upcoming spinoff that is rumored to be happening. We haven't talked about this show in a while, and I wanted to kind of give an update on it because they haven't really denied this show's existence, and it sounds like there is more and more evidence that this will be getting announced this year. So, what I am talking about is the Walking Dead Aaron and Gabriel spinoff that we have been talking about for a little while now. And apparently, according to the Walking Dead Universe Network, there is plans on announcing this soon. And there is plans on apparently releasing this spinoff at some point in the near future. Apparently, this show is supposed to be taking place, and again, their words, not mine. Apparently, this show is supposed to be taking place in Canada with Aaron and Gabriel. And apparently, it's one of the several spinoffs in the upcoming phase of The Walking Dead that Gimple has publicly said that he is going to be releasing. That part is publicly announced, is that there is a new phase of The Walking Dead with new spinoffs and new titles that he is working on. And it is rumored that one of them is the Aaron and Gabriel series. Now, what is rumored as well, and again, not officially confirmed, is that it is going to be in Canada. Now, what do we kind of think about the idea of this show happening, especially with the recent announcement that The Walking Dead Dead City might not only last more than 2 seasons, 2 more seasons, and then it sounds like Dead City will be over. Is this show going to almost replace The Walking Dead Dead City to where Negan and Maggie are not going to be in the franchise anymore, but we will have Aaron and Gabriel instead?
Wait a minute, there's 2 sets of nozzles. Which one is it? Which one is it? Oh, son of a bitch!
No offense to Aaron and Gabriel, I don't think that's much of a replacement. I love Aaron and Gabriel, do not get me wrong, but I don't think that's much of a replacement compared to Negan and Maggie. I just don't think it's as strong, they're not as big of characters, right? So, what do I kind of think about the idea of this show being in Canada? And I kind of heard about this briefly a few times, but the word is continuing to spread, so I figured I would give my thoughts on the idea of a Canada show because, as a Canadian myself, I would be very interested in seeing Walking Dead in Canada. I've always said that. I think the problem is that this show doesn't really sound like it's going to have much of a point to it. Maybe I'm wrong in that. Maybe this show will have an idea to it. Maybe it'll have a point to it. Who knows? The only way to know really is to watch it, right? And the only way to watch it is that if they announce it. So, I don't know. We'll see if this, anything comes of this. I'm kind of curious to know where in Canada they would do this. I feel like the ideal place would be Toronto. But again, there is other locations you could use. You could do Toronto. You could do Quebec. I guess they could do that. They could do Vancouver. They could do, Nova Scotia. They could do, a bunch of different places. I mean, they could do anything, really. I am kind of more so curious on knowing, if this is truly going to be just an Aaron and Gabriel spinoff, or if we're going to kind of just have them as, kind of the base of this, greater story that they're going to tell in Canada. Is it just going to be them two traveling to Canada, or is it going to be maybe there's a reason why we're seeing Canada. There's a lore expansion on the Walking Dead universe, something that happens in Canada that we don't know about yet or something, who knows, right? Who knows what Gimple's gonna, kind of just pull out of his ass, right? I mean, I think we all kind of acknowledge that Gimple is he's just playing this by ear, he's just making this shit up. So I'm curious to see what else he's gonna do with this. I'm curious to see what this is gonna be about. Would I watch a show like this? Yes. Do I think this show is necessary? No, if I'm being honest. But again, if we see Canada in the Walking Dead universe, I think that could be interesting.
What?
Like I said, though, I would have just said we should have had Daryl in Canada instead, this show is about Daryl traveling. Why don't we go somewhere to where he's in Canada and he could easily cross over back to the U.S. to have a reunion with Rick at any time you want, rather than having him overseas to where you can't give him any kind of reunion with our characters for any time soon, So that's the problem with the Daryl show. The Aaron and Gabriel show is not as bad because you're literally just, right across. I mean, Canada and the U.S. are on the same piece of land. So, it would definitely be easy for, any kind of crossovers, any kind of Walking Dead characters to maybe cross over into their show. My problem is with the show, and my problem is with the idea, is that I don't see the purpose for why you would do a show like this. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's a big reason, but I don't know. I felt like Gabriel concluded. I really did. I felt like Gabriel concluded at the end of the original show. And Aaron, I felt like, was left at a good spot, too. I don't really see the need to bring those characters back, if I'm being honest. The only time I would see a reason to bring Aaron and Gabriel back, truly, is if they did a crossover season 12 type of, Avengers Endgame reunion with everybody together, and then they just so happen to be there to, be, on screen with Rick again and, Morgan and some of the others, But unless you're doing that, I don't see a reason to bring Aaron and Gabriel back. Characters like Rick and Daryl, I do think need more to their stories, because I don't think that they've concluded those characters in, the way that they should. Well, at least Rick. Daryl is not concluded. Rick, they say, is concluded, but I really think Rick needs to have a reunion with Daryl, as I've mentioned in previous videos. Aaron and Gabriel don't really need that same type of treatment. They've wrapped up their characters, I'd say, pretty darn solid, But again, we'll have to see. So, is this spinoff something that you would all be interested in checking out? Do you think that there's enough of a drive to check out a spinoff about Aaron and Gabriel? I would definitely watch it, and, a lot of people would say, like, oh, well, wait a minute, Dan, if you're going to watch it, aren't you part of the problem? You know what I mean? Like, you're watching it, you're giving them views. If you think this show shouldn't exist, maybe you shouldn't watch it. Maybe you should boycott it. Well, listen, I'm so far in The Walking Dead now that I'm going to watch what they provide me, regardless of how I feel about it, But I don't think this show is necessary. Maybe they could prove me wrong. Maybe there's something that they could do to kind of, I don't know, give me a bit of a push, a bit of a nudge to say, like, oh, yeah, that show has a purpose, But we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts. Post your comments down below, guys. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoy videos like this, make sure to click subscribe and so you don't miss any of the videos. Follow me on Dan's Reviews Official, guys. And, of course, I'll see you guys really soon for more videos of The Walking Dead universe. Enjoy the rest of the day, guys, and peace out.
Born in the dark alleys, city of concrete. Dan's reviews blowing up, never taste defeat. Walking Dead dissected every plot twist beat. World gone mad, TV junkies hit a treat. Typing up scripts, marathon through the night. His opinions hit harder than a straight fight scene. Every episode, brain sharper than a knife. He's the beacon of critique, shedding TV light.